Hi, welcome back to Brown Acre Farm. I'm Brandy. So very different style video today, but what I'm going to talk about is going away from the homestead to be able to go on a vacation. So I am getting ready to pack. My husband and I are going to Hawaii for a week, which we're super excited about. But leaving the homestead is always a production, and something I always hear from people as to maybe why they don't want to have a farm, don't want to have a garden, don't want to have chickens, is they don't want to be tied down. So I'm going to talk about kind of how we handle that and how we are able to get away from the homestead and go on vacations while still having all the animals and the garden and everything that we do. So I'm going to start packing.
So the first thing that helps us to get away from the homestead and take vacations is timing it really effectively when the homestead is at its quietest. So often this is winter or early spring, late fall, anytime that the homestead has the least going on. So when our meat chickens and our feeder pigs are finished for the year or haven't started for the year, or when the garden hasn't started or is just starting, or when the garden is finished for the year. Just trying to make it so that the homestead is at its simplest and the least amount of work for whoever we have as our farm sitter, and that it's less for us to worry about when we're gone, knowing that things are a little quieter here, and it's less for them to worry about, which in turn is less for us to worry about. We also don't try to leave the homestead when it's maybe deep winter, when snow and freezing is a big issue, or the heat of the summer when we're worrying about animals drinking and all of that. So just trying to pick timing where the homestead is as simple as possible, which makes us feel a lot better about getting away. It makes our vacations less stressful, we get to enjoy them more, and it just makes it as easy as possible on our farm sitter. Speaking of farm sitters, one of the most important things about being able to leave the homestead is finding the right farm sitter and finding someone that you can trust. So you need someone who's really knowledgeable in whatever it is that you have on your homestead. So for us, the biggest challenge is always finding someone who's really knowledgeable about horses, because we have horses on our homestead the majority of the year. Horses are very challenging animals to take care of. They require a lot of finesse and a lot of understanding of their particular needs, their particular diet, and potential sickness issues. So finding someone who's really horse knowledgeable is number one on our list for the person that we use as a farm sitter. We also try to find people who can farm sit without it overly disrupting their life. We don't want farm sitting to be a huge burden on anyone. We try to make it as simple as possible for them, and having someone local who can stay here and still maybe go to their normal job or go see their friends and kind of go about their normal life just makes it easier for everyone, and I think makes it a more pleasant experience. We pay our farm sitters very well, and we set them up for success. It's a big ask to have someone step into your life and take care of everything that goes on a homestead. You know, we have upwards of 30 to 40 animals on our homestead at any given time. So it's a big ask, and we need to compensate those people really fairly and make sure that it's worth their while. And also, we leave things on the homestead running as well as we possibly can. We leave the feed full, we have everything stocked and ready to go. We leave them set up for as much success as we possibly can, so that it's a more pleasant experience for them, and it's also less for us to worry about when we're away. Another thing is to be really clear with your needs and wants for your farm sitter. They need to understand what time you expect chores to be done so that they can do their best to complete it at that time. Not being clear about this stuff can lead to a lot of confusion, and it can lead to a lot of frustration on both parties' ends. So the clearer you are, the better. I always leave kind of a big explanation sheet, as well as we do a run through with the person before they're officially staying here on their own, just to make sure they know how we want things done. Another thing is, don't micromanage from afar. I used to farm sit a lot when I was in high school and college, and it was really frustrating when I had someone texting me every 10 minutes asking how things were going. And I had someone once who checked up on me on their house cameras, which I thought was super creepy and also super annoying. So don't micromanage them. If you trust them enough to stay at your farm, you trust them to do what you need them to do without constant oversight. There's nothing wrong with checking in occasionally, but just try not to be too outrageous about it. I get asked a lot where to find good, responsible, and farm sitters that you can trust. So we've had really good luck in just reaching out to our network of people who live a similar lifestyle as us, people who also have horses, people who have farms, and talking to them about maybe who they use as a farm sitter and or someone in their family or their network who is willing to be a farm sitter. So a lot of times we use college students that we know through, family friends or that have shown with us for years, have shown horse shows with us for years, or that I used to do 4-H with, or something of that nature, just people in our network. But college students are great because usually they are looking for money. I know I was. That's when I did a lot of farm sitting when I was younger. And also they tend to have a little bit more free time and a little bit more of a flexible schedule than someone who's working a 9 to 5. Not that you can't do it if someone's working a 9 to 5, you absolutely can, but just I've found that it's a little easier for the college students, and I want this homestead sitting, farm sitting to be as easy for the person doing it as possible. So one of the other important things when you're getting ready to leave is really prepping the homestead and setting it up for success before you leave. So always leave things well managed, leave plenty of feed stocked, clean the water tubs and the water buckets before you go so that they're gonna last as long as possible for that person. Check the fences. Good heavens, always check the fences because it is just without fail that something stupid will happen and an animal will get out when you're gone and someone new is staying at your place. Complete any maintenance that needs to happen, make sure things are in good working condition and everything is ready to go. Fill the feed, make sure there's enough feed on hand for however long you're going to be gone. Leave all of the tools they need to complete daily chores in good working condition. Make sure the wheel and the wheelbarrow is filled up with air and just everything is accessible and simple for that person to use, because that's just going to make everything go smoother. It'll eliminate any back and forth where they're asking you a bunch of questions about things and just simplify. The other thing I do is I always leave a big list that explains everything that needs done on the homestead and leave emergency contacts, vets, family friends, anyone that they would need to potentially get a hold of, just as a kind of insurance policy and just in case. Usually they know what to do and we go over everything with them, but it's always good to have something else there just in case. Lastly, enjoy your time away. I know we love our homestead, but it's a lot of work and we need breaks sometimes. There is nothing wrong, there is no shame and no guilt in taking a vacation. You deserve it, you work hard, so go enjoy it, make the best of your time away, and try not to worry about things at home. If you've set yourself up for success on your homestead before you leave, everything will probably be just fine while you're gone. And trust the person who's there. Check in with them a little bit just to make sure things are good, but mostly trust them to do what you've asked them to do and what you've paid them to do and make the absolute best of your time away. So, those are my tips for leaving the homestead and getting away on a vacation. I know we are personally super looking forward to our upcoming trip. We are going to Maui, Hawaii. This will be our first trip to Maui. We have been to Hawaii before, so we're super pumped about it. And I am really thankful for the person who's staying at our homestead and is going to be taking care of everything. She's really fabulous. So that is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Everyone go plan a vacation and pick out your farm sitters, and I will see you back here again soon.